I have come to share things that the Lord has placed in my heart. They are things that I have encountered in my walk with the Lord. Around 2013 and 2014, I was in the middle of a great battle. I always say it is easier to fight families witches. They are not really strong, but whenever a witch is demonstrating great strength, he has likely joined an evil order, allowing him to travel to the world that is beneath the water. When a witch is strong, he is either a siren, or a triton, and when a witch become a siren, expect intense battle, for you are dealing with the marine kingdom. In the end time the true Christian is fighting against evil pastor and false prophet, that have joined secret order, through which they travel to the marine kingdom and are marrying water siren. The battle with these kind of enemies is not easy, but we are more than conqueror. I was locked in a battle against a pastor. This pastor was a witch. He has slaughtered his wife in witchcraft, offering her as a human sacrifice. We were really sad when we heard the news of the death of the pastor wife. Everybody pitied the pastor who had lost his wife, but we did not know that the pastor was a witch and was responsible for the death of his wife. Many years after the death of his wife, this pastor got married to another woman. That's when the Lord revealed to me that the wicked pastor was on course of killing this woman who was his second wife in order to eat her flesh and drink her blood. The criminal pastor wanted to repeat the same crime and offenses. No one knew that he was a criminal witch. Witches are murderer and criminal, who feel they are free to repeat their crimes because no one will know that they are the culprit. That's when the Lord came to reveal to me that he was a witch and he was responsible for the death of his first wife and he wanted to kill his second wife in sacrifice. I used to respect this pastor and I always share with him my issues of life, and he represented something for me, and to learn that he was a criminal and murderous witch, left me angry, troubled and confused. When I came to the Lord, I really love pastors because they are servant of God. But one day the Lord said the majority of pastor you know are witches, the majority of pastor in your country are witches. I went to see the pastor and told him, man of God, God just told me that the majority of pastor are witches. I came to tell you so that you would not trust them. I was here accusing witches to a pastor who is a witch. I told him since these evil pastors have an association of pastors, please don't join them because they are witches. He said you are right. I already know that and I don't trust them. I will not join them. He refused to join them, but in the spirit there was another association of wicked pastor. I would advise you, leader, to avoid association because you run the risk of initiation. One day I was telling this pastor a mystery that the Lord revealed to me. I had no suspicion that he was a witch. I was with her wife and he said to me, Sister Adeline, it seems your spiritual ears and eyes are opened. We don't like people that have spiritual ears and eyes opened, and since you have spiritual eyes and ears opened we must close them. Upon hearing these words from the pastor, I felt cold in my inside and many things crossed my heart, and I wanted to ask him, Pastor, when you say we must close your ears, who are we? I also wanted to ask him, in which way will you close my spiritual eyes? Even the Bible say we must pray to God to open our ears and eyes. His wife and I were surprised by his words, but we could not understand that he was a witch. I was saying, how can the pastor be so much ignorant and does not know that we should have spiritual eyes? I was marked by this incident, brethren, that are churches where the pastors have closed the spiritual eyes and ears of the member, to stop them from seeing what is hidden. For this pastor said we don't like people who have spiritual vision and ears opened. We closed them. I remember in the past when I came to share with him a dream, where the Lord spoke to me about my destiny and future, not knowing he was a witch. On that very day in the night I was trying to sleep. The moment my eyes closed I saw that I was already in the middle of a battle. Brethren, let's not share our dreams with people for fear of bringing battle, like Joseph, who told his brothers his dream and the persecution began. On that day that I told this pastor my dream, I saw that I was fighting for wicked spirit, rebuking them in the name of Jesus Christ. These characters I was fighting against were half human and half animal. I fought these 4 hybrid demons, and suddenly I came out of the sleep. When I slept again I found myself fighting mysterious people. There were 6 of them. We were throwing punch against one another, but there were 6 of them. I noticed one of them was fighting me on my back, trying to hide his identity. When someone is fighting and hiding his identity, he is surely someone that you know, and I was about to find out who he was. He was trying to block my hand in order to allow his companion to have an advantage. Despite the fact that he had hid his identity, the Lord caused him to speak so that I will be able to identify him. That's when he said, "My daughter, you are just a child, and we will teach you a lesson and beat you. We know all the things that God said about your destiny, which you came to tell me. We will stop them from coming to pass." Thus, even if I could not see my opponent's face that he was hiding, I was able to recognize the voice of this pastor, that I trust with all my heart, that I tell all my secret and my dreams. He was holding my hand when I called out his name, and I saw his face when he tried to hide it, but it was too late and I woke up in emotion, and I was crying. I wonder why has the pastor said that I was just a child. I understood that he was talking about my spiritual level. There are Christians that are children in the spirit, they are not grown up and their level is low. He called me a child because God told me that all the majority of the pastor I knew were wicked, but I still continue to tell him the secret the Lord was telling me. One day his wife that he had planned to slaughter in witchcraft came to visit me. We were talking and the phone was on the speaker so that his husband that was back home could follow our conversation and participate, even if the evil pastor was following our conversation. I told the wife of this pastor, "Do you know that you are in great battle? Do you know that they have planned to capture and kill you and consume your flesh? You have the spirit of death following you, but I know very the criminal who want to kill you, for the Lord has revealed to me his identity, and if the criminal which dare to sacrifice your life and murder you, I swear that I will expose him and his witchcraft in your funeral. I already dreamed this witch twice, and if I dream him for the third time, I will speak his name." I was trying to intimidate the evil pastor, but even if he feared his name to be exposed, his attitude was of defiance. The woman could not understand what I was talking about, but his evil husband the witch pastor knew that I was talking to him, but I did not know that my words were a declaration of war, for the pastor laughed in defiance. I said, "I will expose the offender, people will believe me, not the offender." This pastor had a really good reputation and seems not reproachable, but the Lord revealed to me that he was born witch, and then he went on to join the occult order of Rose Cross. He was a Masonic pastor of an evangelical church. I spent 3 days at home unable to go to work, and I cried for this man who was like my rock. I gave him the uttermost trust. I really got myself in a brutal war. Had it not been the multiple promises of the Lord in my life, I would have died and you would have never known that there was a certain lady Adeline. The pastor was sure that he will slaughter me. After speaking these words that were a threat, the battle began. This evil pastor understood that I knew his identity and he went to accuse me to his leader in the world of witches, telling him, "Master, I want to sacrifice my wife, but a lady has discovered my identity and what I am about to do. She has discovered that I had sacrificed my former wife and is threatening to expose me to the public." His leader said, "If that is the case, you must first eliminate and neutralize this lady Adeline who is threatening to expose you, and then you can sacrifice your wife." One of my weaknesses in this battle was that I was still attached to the ornament of the enemy. I wore makeup and had painted face. Back then I had many friends that were witches. We eat, drink and share everything in life, but it is when one of them decided to attack me that the Lord exposed his identity, for the Lord revealed to me witches only when they decide to attack me. I always seek confirmation from the Lord because witches take people's face in order to hide their true identity. It is when I am seeking confirmation that the Lord would come to me with details in the night explaining to me how he became a witch. I said, "Lord, but this pastor seems to have honesty and integrity." The Lord said, "When his master the devil sent him to open a church on earth, he instructed him to have a good character and behave well, and to avoid scandalous behavior. This is in order to deceive people." The Lord said it's been 12 years since he has become a member of Rose Cross. Normally they wear a kind of bracelet on the hand, but he could not wear it because of suspicion, and he was cut on the hand. The bracelet was introduced inside the hand. When the fight began, the pastor began to send me demon to attack me. He was summoning all kind of demon and sending them to attack me. In the course of the battle I discovered that this pastor was not a lone witch, for they had a group of evil pastors who were witches, and they formed a spiritual association of wicked pastor. He never came by himself to attack me, for he was sending demon. I never exposed this pastor because I like her wife. Even today, the Lord told me to pray for the lady because his husband has planned to kill her, but he is afraid that I will expose him. Since the pastor tried hard to hunt me down and kill me, and since he failed to achieve his objective of killing me, he could not kill her wife, therefore he decided to initiate his wife in witchcraft and rose cross. Today many pastors are being initiated, and if they fail to initiate their wives they try to sacrifice them, or it's divorces. I did not know that the pastor was seeking to kill me. The Lord said to me that they gave him many demon and powers of darkness. The Lord revealed that he took this matter to the gathering of satanic pastors to receive support against me. Today pastors are sacrificing members of churches. Every time I talked to her wife, a demon was coming to fight me, and the Lord was telling me they sent you a demon because of the things you were talking about with his wife. I said in myself, I only talked to her wife. I told her wife, don't tell your husband whatever we talk about. I came to understand that since I told the pastor, if I see you again in the dream I will expose you, he was afraid and began to send demons. One day during the battle when the pastor was sending demon, the Lord said, Adeline, look at the angels that protect you. When I look I saw countless host of heaven. They were in different group. I said, wow, all these angels just in order to protect me. The Lord said, yes, they are the ones who protect you. Each group of angels was led by an archangel, who was really taller like a building. During this conflict I did not realize that the pastor had sent against me the angel of death. I was followed by the spirit of death, that sought to take my life. Every time my husband was driving I heard the impression he had limited attention and focus, and I kept saying be careful and watch out. Finally he told me, you are too much worry, I know what I am doing. It is when we were coming out of a street in order to join a crossroad, a car filled with a soldier was coming in our direction to hit us. I thought my husband saw it because he told me he knew what he was doing. I failed to tell him that a car was coming, thinking that he had seen it, and when the car was about to hit precisely where I was sitting, the driver managed to avoid the accident and went to knock a fence. I managed to escape death, and I was angry against my husband, who told me he did not see the car coming. I said, every time I say watch out you say you know what you are doing. You almost got me killed. Brethren, I felt that this incident was my death. In truth the evil pastor sent me the spirit of death that was following me to kill me, but the Lord intervened. I was sleeping in the night when I saw in a dream my life throughout the day. I saw that sitting there and eating, but not far from me was a man standing there. I told him, man, I am eating but you are standing there just like that. What's wrong? Who are you? He told me, don't worry, I am not a human being, I am an angel. I said, really? He said, yes, I am an angel sent by God to protect you. You already have angels that protect you. But since the battle has increased in intensity, and your enemy have decided to kill and neutralize you, God sent me as an auxiliary angel for protection. They want to kill you, and I have come to protect you against death, because the wicked has risen to devour you and remove you from the world of the living. That is why God sent me. Wherever you go I will walk with you, because death can come against you any moment. That's why I have to be with you. I began to see incident where this angel has already intervened. Recently we were in prayer, when the Lord told my husband that a kid that was there is in great battle, and he will send him additional angel for protection. The Lord said, this kid is a scientist and has the ability to invent things. He will make discovery and invention for the development of Congo, but the spirit world has discovered his star and ability, and they want to kill him and confiscate that gift, and the Lord instructed us to pray for him. But an additional angel was sent for him to protect him and the invention that is in him.